Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, I'm Mary. I post fashion, beauty, and health and wellness videos. But today I thought it would be really fun to sit down, and I actually had a request to talk a little bit about budgeting in college. So I thought this would be really fun to do. Just a disclaimer that everyone's financial situation is different, and I think everyone's financial situation is pretty private, but these ones are pretty general tips and tricks that I use, that I know people who have used, and just honestly that can help anyone, even if you're not in college. I think no matter how much money you have, I think it's very important to know where your money is going, and this is something that's been very apparent to me in these past few years, just knowing how you're spending money, because like at the end of the day, money is value. It's an exchange of value, and so just knowing if you're like spending your money on valueless things, on not valuable things to you is really important. So I just have 5 tips and tricks right here on my phone that I figured I would share with you because I thought they were really good. So the first one, which is one that honestly I've always kind of done, is prioritize spending money on what you love. So for example, I probably buy coffee out, I would say once to twice a week, max twice a week. And I'm fine making coffee at home. I don't want to set aside $40, $50 a week to spend on coffee. I would much rather save that money to spend on other things like skincare and clothes and stuff like that. So I think just really finding what makes you tick. Some people love going out to nice dinners. That's not really my forte. Like, I love going out every once in a while, but I would much rather save money, make dinner at home, and then be able to go on like a big trip or something like that. Another thing is like with prioritizing what you love, like maybe if you don't necessarily love going to fitness classes, like maybe just try some at-home workouts. I know Melissa Wood Health has a really great, it's $10 a month. Like that's amazing for workouts. Or just like look up workouts on YouTube. Like you don't have to spend money on all of the things that seems like they should cost money at face value. So yeah, I think just like figuring out what you love, what makes you tick. If eating healthy is a priority to you, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be spending more money on food. I'll get to that in my next tip, which is grocery shop at discount stores like Aldi. Aldi and just other discount stores is literally so underrated. My boyfriend does 95% of his grocery shopping at Aldi, and I think he spends around $30 to $50 like a week on groceries, and he's a guy who like he eats a lot. But like seriously go to Aldi. When I spent some time in Florida with my boyfriend and my boyfriend's brother, we grocery shopped at Aldi, and I think I spent a total of like $30 for 2 weeks on groceries for dinners. So like you can really get some very healthy, organic, awesome foods at Aldi and places like that. If you don't have an Aldi, like Trader Joe's is pretty good too. Aldi's just cheaper. But seriously, like don't sleep on stuff like that because it will save you so much money in the long term. Like, believe me. I mean, let's say you go from spending even $50 to $30 a week on groceries. Okay, so you're saving $20 a week. That's $80 a month. And then 80 times 12 is, I don't know what, 800. Like, that's like a lot. Almost $1,000 a year, I think. So, yeah. And just also like another thing going off of that is just like think before you buy. Like calculate that in your head or like on a calculator or whatever. Think about that and be like, oh, like is this $4 thing of hummus that I'm really not gonna eat gonna make a difference in the long term? Probably. Just think about stuff like that. Anyways, another thing is with fashion and honestly like home decor, anything like that, and it's thrifting. Seriously, you guys, you don't have to buy new stuff to have amazing quality pieces. Like thrifting is another thing that I think is so underrated. Go out to your local Plato's Closet, go to your local Goodwill, and you can find some really, really amazing pieces of clothes. And you just have to like dedicate like 2 hours of your day off of work or something to doing that. And you can find some amazing pieces for dirt cheap. So I think like, I think budgeting and spending money mindfully is all about thinking outside the box. Whereas like you don't have to buy your clothes new. Like whoever said that, you can get just as great pieces that are lightly used, you know? Sometimes I think even like thrifted clothes, like this is, for example, this sweater my mom gave me, and it's so much better because it's already like a little bit worn and cozy and just things like that. So don't overlook things like thrifting and like discount stores. A next one is keep an Excel budget. So what I do is for every year, I keep an Excel like spreadsheet, and then I have different like sheets in each file, I guess. So I guess multiple spreadsheets, but I keep an Excel file, each month is a different Excel sheet, and I have a budget. Like I have let's say I'm spending, this is arbitrary, let's say I'm spending $100 a month total. Then I have that 100, and then every single penny that I spend, I deduct from that $100, and the $100 is all I have to spend. The rest goes into savings. The rest, like honestly, I would say like, don't spend everything you're making in a month. Even if you can only save $10 or $5 a month, you're still getting used to saving, and I think that's really important. So yeah, I keep the Excel spreadsheet, keep everything in detail. You don't have to use that. You can use some of those budgeting apps. Like I know Mint is one. I don't know, it just kind of weirds me out. I'm so old fashioned with that, and I'm really private with that stuff. So I just don't want it. Like, I don't know. I mean, do what you want, but I just like having my Excel spreadsheet because then I can reference it, and like, I never like, am like, oh, like where did that go? You know, it's like, and I'm not saying I'm perfect because I do buy things a lot that I'm like, what the fuck? Why did I spend money on that? But I think keeping the spreadsheet really helps me see where I can cut costs and where I'm just like spending too much. And like looking back at it is really important. And then you kind of like get into this competitive mindset with yourself where you're like, okay, let me see if I can spend less and less money a month. And yeah, I would really keep some sort of a budget spreadsheet, or like do it in the app if you're like, another thing is have your banking on the app. Some people don't have the app. Like no matter what bank you use, let's say you use Hills Bank, get the Hills Bank app, because literally then you can see everything. Like on my birthday, I remember, because I check my banking app every morning, and I remember I got on for my banking app, and had I not checked my banking app, I would not have realized that I had fraudulent charges on my card. I had literally had like $200 of fraudulent charges, so I called the bank and I got it figured out right away. It's just like, know where your money is going, you know? And then the final tip, which is honestly just like kind of all encompassing, is learn to discern between your wants and your needs. And still make time and still make space for your wants, but maybe don't buy them right away. I think it's really easy, and like I am an impulse buyer, you guys, but I'm working on it. And I think it's really easy to in the moment be like, oh my gosh, I need that. But do you really? Or do you want it? And so I think just like going back to the first tip of like prioritizing like what you love, it's the same thing. It's just like, okay, at the grocery store, even just like, again, I'm gonna go back to buying a hummus. At the grocery store, grabbing a hummus, and it's like, okay, wait, but the last hummus I had in the fridge went moldy. So why am I buying it if I don't need it? If it's not something I'm eating on a daily basis? Just learn to like, just get to know yourself. I also think budgeting and learning money is getting to know yourself and getting to know what makes you tick, what makes you happy. And so, yeah, I mean, literally that's why I kind of buy the same groceries all the time, honestly, is because I know what I'm gonna eat for the most part. And if I buy something that's like really out of the ordinary for me, I'm probably not gonna eat it, and then it's just gonna go to waste. And that's money literally thrown down the toilet. So yeah, those are kind of like my pretty like comprehensive tips and tricks with budgeting. Again, like everyone's situation is completely different. I'm not a professional. This is just what works for me. But like money can be a hard thing for people to talk about, and it can be really uncomfortable for people. And I think like an abundant mindset creates an abundant life. And so if you have that mindset of scarcity surrounding your finances are going to be scarce. But no matter how little you have, come at it with abundance, come at it with gratitude, and come at your financing with love, and also just like wanting to know what is going on. and it's all gonna be good. So yeah, obviously, like, reach out if you have any questions. I just want to say, I know I've said this like 5 times, but I'm not a professional. I'm working on this too. This video is just as much for me as it is for you guys, but I do think it's really important to just like break the stigma and start talking about money, because I mean, I know especially with social media, I see some of these influencers online and I'm like, how can they spend money the way they do? And of course there's like an absurdity along with it, but there's also like a little bit of a jealousy along with it. And it makes you think that everything that they have, you need. And then you can just get on that online shopping like mindless, you know, and when at the end of the day, you don't know them behind the camera. And so, and I also want to say this about me, like if you see that I have something, think about if you actually need it before you go and buy it. Because behind the camera, things can look so much like cooler than they are in real life, and something can seem like it'll make you happy when really it's just more clutter in your life. So yeah, I hope that this was beneficial to you guys. I really enjoyed making this video. Seriously, please, when one of my subscribers reached out, she was like reach out with this recommendation. I was like, please, seriously, like reach out to me with any recommendations, and like everyone reach out to me with any recommendations. I won't think it's weird. I absolutely love that. And I love when people give me recommendations, because like I don't want my videos to get repetitive, you know what I mean? So yeah, and I want to do things to benefit you guys. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I love you. Have a happy Friday. I believe this one's going to go up on a Friday, and a great weekend. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Thanks guys. Bye.